Hey, Pajama Grandma, Sharon Horne-Ellstrom here with my new adventure. What's she up to now? She with my crazy hair and my pajamas, of course, because the coolest thing about journaling and sharing what I'm up to is I just get to be me. I get to show up as who I am. And some people will hate it, some people will like it, but the only thing that really matters is how I feel about it, what I think about it. And I'm actually selfishly doing this particular Facebook Live on my page, my Be Me to Thrive page. As much as I like sharing it with you and hoping that other people are benefiting from it, I'm actually doing this for me to document my journey, to keep track of what I'm doing, to see how far I've come at the end of a year or whenever I stop doing this, just to show and see to myself my own personal development and growth. Because all of our lives, all of our journeys here on this planet are about experiencing the world as only we uniquely can. And as such, I've always written down in handwritten journals throughout my life. I've been good about it and not so good about it. But I believe that if my life is worth living, it's worth documenting. And so I've always written a lot of things down. So now I have, tubs full of massively ridiculous, chaotic journals. But with Facebook Live, it allows us a much more exciting visual way of sharing our experience and sharing ourselves with other people. Now, there's a lot of people that aren't really who they are when they do Facebook Lives. I like to think that this is really who I am when I'm doing a Facebook Live. And as I've been growing and developing through my experience with Facebook Lives and my experience with getting on videos. Beginning of this year, I was scared to death to get on a video and say boo. I mean, you could hear my voice shaking. I still don't have a really smooth delivery, and I might not ever. It's just me being me. So I'm probably going to say things like so a lot. I say so all the time. You'd think I was a seamstress, for goodness sake. I also say I was looking at a transcription of one of my videos from yesterday, and I'm like, I've got in there about 6 times, and I didn't realize, and I'll become more cognizant and more aware of how often I use phrases like that, and I will get better and better and better and continue to take them out of my speaking, because my speaking is going to get better. I've always been a written person. I've been really good at blogging. I've been blogging on the side, and that's how I've been journaling for, I don't know, a lot of years now. I'd have to go back and actually check when I started my blog, but I know it's been a lot of years because I used it for things like reducing stress in my life, because running a bunch of businesses can be very stressful, especially when you're doing a lot of it on your own. And I didn't always hire the best teammates. I'm getting better about that, but sometimes I chose the wrong business partners. And talk about something that'll increase your stress and send it through the roof and you to the hospital. Choose the wrong business partner. That'll do it. Just like choosing the wrong life partner. I've done that too. Come on. So today I was thinking about the power of these Facebook Lives. I'm actually in a group. I don't know how I even found the group, but obviously I was supposed to do it because I found the group the day before we were starting a 365-day Facebook Live challenge. And I thought, well, I'm doing 3 Facebook Lives a day anyway. I've been doing them for about, more than a month. I think this is day 81. So for at least 80 days, I've been doing 3 Facebook Lives a day for different projects that I'm working on. So I'm like, well, I could do one more. What I've been doing is actually sharing one of the 3 that I'm already doing every day. So I might share this Facebook Live today. Sometimes I share my daily scare share. Sometimes I haven't shared Pajama Grandma yet. That's not really, it doesn't feel like the group to share Pajama Grandma in. But I did talk a lot for Pajama Grandma today, so I probably could. I think today I did the longest daily scare share I've ever done. It was like over 8 minutes. I'm like, oh, for goodness sake, that is a long daily scare share, because my daily scare share is just stretching my comfort zone and challenging myself every day to do something that scares me, something that's outside my comfort zone. And today's was 8 minutes and like 41 or 47 seconds long. And I'm like, that's outrageous. That's way too long. I like to keep that one around a couple of minutes because I don't want to scare people off from doing something that stretches their comfort zone because I happen to talk too much. But that's kind of who I am. I tend to ramble and talk a lot about things that I'm passionate about. My kids accuse me of screaming because when I get excited, my voice raises and I talk faster and a little bit louder, but it's not screaming. I think that my kids are spoiled and they didn't really hear me scream and yell and fight and get like outrageous like I can do. And so they think just when I'm talking passionately and loudly about something and quickly that I'm screaming at them. You're screaming at me, because they might be only like, 5 feet away. And I'm not really screaming. I'm just excited about what I'm talking about. So I started brainstorming, some ideas for Facebook Live challenges that could last 365 days. And some of the things I wrote down, because I write everything down, was the whole Facebook Live challenge that I'm doing with the group, which is super exciting. However, I am finding it really challenging to watch everybody's Facebook Lives every day. I try to watch at least a couple minutes of them, but some of them are worse than me, that are not worse than me, they're better than me. They can talk for like half an hour. Well, I think there's 10 or 11 of us still in the challenge, and once you miss a day, you're out. So there's like 10 or 11 of us left today will be day 11. And even 11 videos times 5 minutes, that's an hour of people's videos. Plus, you want to interact and listen and give feedback. So most people's videos are a lot longer than 5 minutes. Like if I share this video today, I know it's a lot longer than 5 minutes. And I don't expect everybody in that group to listen to me ramble or talk about my particular topic. If I was talking about chronic pain, if I shared a chronic pain one in that group, I wouldn't expect that group to listen to me talk about chronic pain for 20, 25 minutes, which I'm not sharing those in there. So it's awesome. And we're learning so much about one another. I mean, it's amazing the things that I'm learning about other people by the topics they share, what they say, how they say them, how they deliver them. It's really fascinating and fun to grow with a group of people like that. So I'm really honored and excited that I don't even know how I found that particular Facebook Live message, because I'm not sure Marion and I were even, we must have been friends, because otherwise how would I have found it? Or I don't know how I would have clicked through and found it. But I think we find what we need when we need it for a reason. Everything that comes our way in life, even though it might not feel like it at the time, it is always there to serve us. It's always there to either serve us in a positive way or to serve us in a way that makes us grow and become a better human being. Even things like having a sudden cardiac arrest. And that's probably one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn in my life, is that everything that I attract in my life, everything that happens in my life, I attract and I bring into my life to show me something, either to teach me something or to help me teach someone else something. So the Facebook Lives, you could share yourself and your journey. If you're wanting to become or do or be something, you can share your journey with people by starting right where you are and sharing and doing a daily, hey, this is what I did today, like I'm doing with this particular thing right now. I'm documenting my journey as I go from traditional brick and mortar businesses to online businesses. I'm just doing this on one of my Facebook pages for me to document and keep track of what I've tried that worked, what I tried that didn't work, and to help me to grow and develop and be a better person. You could do a daily exercise or a daily challenge or a daily question. You could do I'm doing the daily scare share. I've mentioned that is something. Number one, it helps me to grow and personally develop and stretch my comfort zone, but it also holds me accountable. The big one with that is it holds me accountable to do it every single day. But it also gives other people a chance to do something fun to stretch their comfort zone and to challenge themselves and to share that journey along with me. I'm doing a pajama grandma share every day, and right now I'm just asking a question because I wasn't exactly sure about how I want to do that group and what I want to do with that group. And the more I think about it, the more I'm trying to combine who I am with all of the things I like to do and all of the things I'm good at into one central location. So instead of having a Sharon Horne-Ellstrom page, because who cares at this point, I have a pajama grandma page where I'm trying to decide how to kind of put all my ideas and thoughts and impressions together with who I am to create something awesome. And since I haven't figured out what the create something awesome is yet, I'm just using it by asking a daily question there. So you can, on your own page, do something like that. Questions are really, really powerful. I don't know if you know that or not, but we evaluate absolutely everything in our lives by asking questions. And even if the question is always running in the back of our mind, how does this impact me? What does this mean for me? So the puppy sleeping in chairs in the background, my brain asks, well, what does this mean for me? I get to make a video without dogs barking in it for a change. That's awesome. So questions are really powerful and a good way to do something. And the other thing you could do in your Facebook Lives is find a way to share your knowledge and your wisdom and help people out, help other people out. You could do a daily ask me a question about your particular topic. So for example, in my past life, I was a food manufacturer. So I actually could do a daily for food manufacturers, ask me a question, because trust me, before I was a food manufacturer for 3 decades, I also worked in corporate America as an auditor and quality manager and quality engineer and quality director and vice president and all that jazz. And so I have a lot of knowledge and experience dealing with those topics. So I could actually do a Facebook Live every day where people could ask me a question, and I would just, whatever they asked me, I would answer questions. I can also do, or you could also do and I'm actually adding this to my podcast. I'm adding interviews to my podcast because I've done a lot of them now that aren't interviews, but I want to get other people's perspective. And for example, my Painkillers podcast, I'm bringing in experts in all different areas and all different aspects of chronic pain. Some people just to share their personal experiences. Other people that are experts and healthcare providers and different healing modalities. You know, I'm having them come in and share some of their experiences, what they do to help people with chronic pain, and how my people that are listening could take advantage of either their services or someone like them that would be another way for them to help to alleviate their chronic pain. So you could do something like that where you interview experts or you interview other people that are successfully doing what it is that you want to do or that the people that are listening to you and following you want to do, or your ideal customer, actually, what they want to achieve in their life, what kind of transformation they want. And I like to do a mix of where people are in their journey with that. So I'm interviewing people that are brand new to experiencing chronic pain, because we all go through this journey of stages in dealing with our chronic pain, just like death. I actually did a series on the chronic pain stages. I should dig that out and share that. Another thing you could do is you could do a niche teaching topic every day, and you could quickly and easily just in, it could be 30-second tip to a 10-minute secret, and you could mix up those links to keep people interested and engaged. But just a tip or a trick or a strategy with respect to the area that you're an expert in. So for example, I do something, and I'm not doing it every day, although I did a huge batch of them. I did over 100 short, what I call chronic painkillers with a Z prescriptions. And they're just tips, tricks, and strategies that help people with chronic pain to kill their chronic pain and take back their life, bottom line. Some of them are much like me, very in your face, you just got to do this. And some people might not like me because my whole tact and my whole belief system about chronic pain is that I am responsible for my chronic pain. No one else can fix it but me. And I can get help and advice and encouragement from other people and experts and doctors. But bottom line is it's up to me to put everything to work in my life that's at my disposal to deal with my chronic pain. That also means it's my personal responsibility to always be on the lookout and always be using myself as my own greatest science experiment to change my experience with chronic pain so that I can create and live the life that I deserve. A lot of people with chronic pain are not in the position yet to understand that or believe that. Their belief is that it isn't their responsibility. Someone outside of them is going to fix them. I believed that for a long time too, and guess what? I just got sicker and sicker and sicker and worse and worse and worse and experienced more excruciating chronic pain than I thought I could even handle until I made the decision to take back control and take back personal power. And that's my tact on chronic pain, and a lot of people don't like that because a lot of people, believe it or not, are just like any other walk of life. I mean, chronic pain people are people too. We're all human beings. And some people find it easier to blame things outside themselves, blame other people, and make excuses than to actually take back responsibility and take control of their life and their situation. And this is definitely not only people with chronic pain. If you look around, the whole world is full of people that just make excuses, and I make excuses too. I'm not going to say that I don't make excuses. We all do. But for the reason things are the way they are, instead of doing something about it. That until we stand up and do something about it, nothing changes. So that's my ramblings for today. I don't know if I shared what I'm doing today or not. I'm going to do a webinar, a chronic pain webinar again today. I'm continuing to try to figure out how to speak to my audience, because I want to know, I've got this awesome protocol for people, but they have to want to do it. So they don't even know they want to do it because they don't even know they can. So my big thing is to try to figure out my what is the chronic pain protocol, or it's really a perfect health protocol. It's for everybody. We all need to be in control of and take charge of and personal responsibility for everything in our life, but especially our health and our well-being and our wellness, because until you lose your health, you don't know that it's your number one priority, or has to be your number one priority. And I've been a chronic pain patient for 37 years. I've told you that, I think. But it wasn't until about 8 years ago, when I was 50 and had a sudden cardiac arrest, that I actually really finally got the message that my health had to be my number one priority. It had to be more important than any business. It had to be more important than going to my kids' sports. It had to be more important than absolutely everything. You know, we always hear that you have to love yourself before you can love anybody else. Well, guess what? It's like the airplane thing. You need to put on your own air mask before you put it on your kids, because if you don't, you're not going to get your kids on either, and you're going to both die. The same is true of our health. If we don't take care of our health, absolutely nothing in our life matters. And you can find this out from a lot of chronic pain patients by talking to one or two. And I guarantee there's one or two around you, because there's 1.5 billion of us. So just ask them the question, you know, how important is your health? And again, it's one of those things, it doesn't seem that important, and we all take it for granted until we don't have it anymore. So that's all my rambling for today. Go out, make it an awesome day. I will, of course, share with you tomorrow what I'm doing, what I'm up to now, what my new adventure is leading me to do, what works, what doesn't work. Yesterday I did a Facebook Live training about a business aspect from going offline to online business, which was really fun and exciting. And it was super exciting because it actually had sound. I did one earlier in the week, and I forgot that I had unplugged my printer and my microphone slot. So my microphone wasn't working for the whole 27-minute video, which it's just a continuous improvement, a continually learning and growing experience. So I'm sure the couple people that were on that first video are like, huh? But it doesn't matter, because I record it and I share it later on. And I'll create that content and share it later on for something else. I don't know what yet, but I will share it with something else down the road. Maybe a bonus to a little course or something I'll create. That's it. Go out and make it an awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye. Pajama Grandma Sharon out.